Good morning, friends. Just a little short one for you today on Sandtray figures. Here's another awesome favorite of mine. And before I talk about the way that I use this in the tray or the way that I've seen it used in the tray, just want to kind of pop it up there for you and let you kind of see what's going on. So see if it comes into focus. What we have are two dragons. Just notice the expression on their faces and their proximity to one another. Here's the back. You can see this one is hanging on the back of the other and then looking over the shoulder. And then in front of them is, oh darn, you can't really see that. It's a book. And the book itself is not legible. But anyway, think about that little figure and what the emotion or feeling or thought or experience does this bring up for you? So the idea with Sandtray figures, as I've mentioned, is you're conveying something. So you might go to the Sandtray shelf and pull a figure off because it just appeals to you. These little eyes, for example, kind of trying to reach out to you, might appeal to you. So you grab it and you don't really know what you're going to do with it. You just know that you want to work with it. And so that's one thing. Another way that people approach Sandtray figures is you have a particular thing that you have started building or you've conceptualized in your head, and you're looking for something that conveys a certain feeling. And so then you go and grab the figure that represents that. So here's an example of the former. So I might go to the Sandtray and pull off, 15 different, the Sandtray shelving, pull off like 15 different figures. And I'm just grabbing what sort of appeals to me. You might think of that as intuitive or, your inner part of you trying to connect with other inner parts of you. You might also, have some, there are character figures. So you might I'm a big fan of Star Trek, and you might grab the Star Trek figures, or I've always collected marbles. So you collect, you grab some of the marbles and you want to put that into the tray. So it's this sort of like figure first, figure out what you're going to do with it later. So pull the figures first and then figure out how you're going to use them in the tray. And then another approach is, which I would say is probably more common once you're more experienced with the tray and you know how you want to work through some of the things that you want to work through, then the trays become more purposeful. Not to say we can't kind of lean into this other thing if you want to express your art in that way, but once you're kind of working more purposefully, then it tends to shift to the other. Oh, I need a figure that represents X, Y, Z, or I have a scene that I'm creating in the tray, and I need X, Y, Z to complete the scene that I am creating. So this figure, for me, the cute faces are probably the main thing. But then this really appeals to my nurturing side, specifically my mom heart. Like when I am dealing with either dealing with issues of it or trying to celebrate a part of me, it does tend to be this sort of like calmer, connected, peaceful parent, right? Our parenting style comes in all kinds of different ways. But the one I long to be, I guess, is this more peaceful. I think of this dragon, which is, again, I can't interpret for you what figures mean. This dragon seems peaceful to me. And some people might think all dragons are not peaceful. So that's why it's important to pay attention to our own experience of the figures. So yeah, I will use that, like I said, in trays to kind of represent the mom part of me, or the part of me that wants to be nurtured in this way. So I can project onto the more adult figure, or I could project onto the younger figure the kinds of experiences that I wish that I was having, or the kinds of experiences that I was having. So there you go. Think about what that might mean for you, where you would put this in your Sandtray.